Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I am the Gerbil, and this is, you guessed it, Conquest 16 Sector 4. Hoorah! This, I have to say, is the easiest sector I've gone through so far. I'm going to jump right into it and explain that 3 of the battles, I believe, can be done in... 3 of the feats, I believe, can be done in 1 battle. And I did 2 of those in 1 battle. The 4th one here with Night Sisters, I'll talk more about in a second, is more an opinion. I haven't actually done that one, but I believe you really could. But before we talk about all of this goodness and stuff, there's a couple things I want to shout out regarding the previous videos. I've had a whole bunch of stuff come flowing to me. The first one, this comes to me from CountryBoy47 on Discord, and this is in Sector 4. So take a quick look here. You can see here that CountryBoy has just completed only the first sector, or the first node, and that was up against a Ray squad. And yet, look what they achieved. Defeat 10 enemies with Night Sisters. How did they do that? How did you get 10 kills against Ray? Right? 10. It turns out for CountryBoy47 and for myself, I went back and did some watching of my videos. I recorded my conquest. Countryboy was right. I didn't notice this, but apparently it's counting your own Night Sisters dying. So if your Night Sisters bite the dust, it seems to be counting those. So if you can go in with your Night Sister versus another Night Sister, or a Mon Mothma squad who has a reviving Scare Pathfinder, or summons, and you just keep killing the summons, then yeah, 100% you can knock that out. So thank you, CountryBoy, for sharing that one. Another one, this is going back actually to the previous sector about evasion up. I did not know this data disk was out there, but check this action out. All allies gain evasion up for 2 turns at the start of their turn. So if you don't want to mess with the evasion up feat, I think you had to get evasion up 50 times. It's not hard, it really isn't, but if it's, a struggle for you, and you come across this disc, merely by applying it, you will get the evasion up feat. So that was a really cool one, and that came to me in Discord also from... I think it's LVLA Rijwana. I'm not sure how to say that. Level Origina. I'm not entirely sure there, but thank you so much. Here's the name. I want to make sure you give proper credit there, so thank you. Okay, so let's talk about this. Oh, and one more thing. Thank you, sincerely, thank you to everybody who has subbed and liked the recent videos to promote my channel. I really, really do appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, I have decided I am committing a significant portion of the minimal revenue I get from this channel to my 6-year-old son's college fund. So every like, every sub that you give me sincerely helps put a little bit back for my 6-year-old for the day that he is one day 18. I got 12 more years to build up enough money to hopefully fund his way worry-free, which was not an experience I have. I love my family, I love my parents, they were wonderful, but no joke, when I graduated university, I had enough money in student loans to buy a house. And it wasn't until my mid-30s that I paid that off, and I don't want that for my 6-year-old. So, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking. Time to move on. Okay, sector feats. Gain tenacity up 50 times. Woo! 1 battle. Seriously, 1 battle. Win 15 battles with Kelleran Beq in your squad. In your squad. This is important because in your squad does not mean that he has to survive. He just has to be present. So even if you got a Gear 1, Level 1 Beq, that's okay. Attempt to inflict or gain Blight 40 times. I did this one by accident with a super low gear squad, but not as low gear as my buddy Kerman the Conqueror, who managed it with no Zetas, 3 stars, gear 10, 9, 10 on his 3 recent Imperial remnants. Then he added a gear 12 Stormtrooper and a Relic 5 TIE Fighter, and he got it in 1 battle. So amazing. If that can be done, then I think almost anybody out there if you at least have the characters unlocked, you have the potential of doing this. There are some definite data discs that you're going to want, though. Defeat 20 enemies with Night Sisters, and it turns on. It also looks like that includes 20 allies. Defeat 20 enemies and 20 allies with Night Sisters. So yeah, once again, seriously, one battle. So that makes this the easiest sector faux show in Conquest, in my humble opinion. All right, not talking about globals, doesn't matter. Keep in mind remnants, you're going to use those. Keep in mind Night Sisters, you're going to use those. So you definitely have opportunities to knock out this one and this one. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, so Tenacity Up. There is at least 44 characters in game that I confirmed have a Tenacity Up synergy. Now, not all of those apply Tenacity Up, but many of them apply Tenacity Up at a remarkable scale. For example, Master Qui-Gon, Jedi Knight, Jedi Master Kenobi, Grand Master Yoda, I think even Beq, if I'm not mistaken, all have a team-wide Tenacity Up, as does I've just lost his name, Grief Kargan. Nope, not him. Rex does. Now, old sexy bod, dad bod Rex, whatever people call him, I don't remember. He has an interesting one that whenever a clone trooper ally falls below, I think 50% health or something, they gain Tenacity Up. So, and then 2 of the Bad Batch have team wide, I believe. So if you can make yourself a clone trooper team, then that's easy. But what I was doing is I was going, hey, everybody have some of this. Hey, everybody have some of this. Hey, everybody have more. Hey, everybody spread it. And there's your 20 stacks in 3 turns. And if I'm pretty sure he had a team wide. If he doesn't, then I know Beq does. And you know what? Beq's needed. So the Tenacity Up one, like you can spit that out really fast. This is not the inclusive list, of course. Characters like Logray, if you're just an Ewok freak like me, whenever he's called to assist, he and the ally who called him to assist will gain Tenacity Up, so you can spread that pretty quickly. Kelleran Beq has to be in your squad. Doesn't have to live. Poor boy can bite the dust over and over again. But you need him anyway, or you might want to use him anyway for that Tenacity Up. It's the whole team. So go get your Tenacity Ups and, well, try to get a Beq win. Now, Blight, this was fun. I went into my first battle, pulled these 3 guys in here. I'm going to show you their gear and whatnot in a second. I think they're all gear 11. They're 4 stars, maybe 5. And when the battle was over, it said, cha-ching, congratulations. You got yourself all 40 Blight. I was like, what? How? I'm not even 100% sure. Like, I've gone back and I've read the kits and I think I got it. I'll explain here in a second, but it's a freebie. Night Sisters is, I think it's the hardest one because a lot of people probably do not have really, really well modded, optimized, geared up Night Sisters these days. Like, until recently, they've very much been overlooked. And if you're going, who is that? Those are the grandmothers from the Ahsoka series. And if you are really in the dark, they were just announced that they're coming, I think, in 3 hours. So yeah, if you're gonna like straight up unlock them day one, then this is probably the team. I'm not entirely sure because once again, she stops revives. Everybody's told me that. So you definitely don't want to put old Daka, Marin, and Zombie on that team. Otherwise, don't forget that Death Trooper Peridia and Night Trooper are Night Sisters. Yeah, sincerely, which means that they synergize really well when you're getting those Night Sister kills, that you have opportunities also to get some Blight if you need it. So yeah, that's a good one. This seriously turned out to be a nice sector. Okay, let's look at those recommended teams, the teams that I recommend. Once again, folks, your roster is not my roster. My roster is not that dude over there because that dude over there is scary. I don't want to be like that dude. Don't be like that dude. Scary. Let's just pretend he's not there. And while we're talking about that dude who's not there, make sure there's no strangers around you either. Go ahead and double check that there's no strangers. Okay, so Tenacity Up. So each of these teams can easily give you all 50 Tenacity Up in one battle. The trick is to make sure you don't die or win too quickly. As I said, all 4 of them have a team-wide, and Shakti, who has a Dispel on Basic and a Cleanse and Retribution and whatnot, she also has a Tenacity Up with a targeted ally Tenacity Up. So like if you've been Dispelled, she can target Yoda. Yoda gets Tenacity Up, and then Yoda spreads it with a second special to the whole team. So I like Shakti in there. You don't have the cat or Baby Ahsoka snips, so you don't get those insta kills and constant assists, but that's okay because you don't want to win too quickly. The clone team, as I was just talking about, oh my goodness, this just spreads tenacity like handing out cotton candy to a convention of Cub Scouts, right? It's super popular. They all want it. And then the last one down here is a bounty hunter squad. I figured this is probably a pretty accessible one, with the exception of Scion. I bet a lot of people early game don't have Scion, but if you are early, mid game, and you have even tried to get Rebels, Ewoks, or Executor, then you have this squad. Dengar is just going to perpetually provide himself Tenacity Up. I don't remember the mechanic, but he's got it all the time. He's got a team-wide Tenacity Up, and then there are so many other characters. Take a pick from one, throw it into the 5th if you don't have Dad Bod, Boba Fett, and you'll get that in no time. I highly recommend Voluntary Vanguard, Vitality, and then one of my new favorites is Protection Shield. This is the one that whenever you get any ally gets critically hit, the entire team recovers protection. I managed to get 3, 2 of the blue and 1 of the green, so that's 10, 15, 15%. So anytime any ally on my team gets critically hit, the entire team recovers 50% protection. It's bonkers. Like, you just don't die, especially if you get the Vanguard. Everybody's forced to attack your tank who's just perpetually healing. It's bonkers. All right, Kelleran Beq surviving. I'll show you 3 teams. We'll start in the middle. This is just, of course, the straight up Amplify, Agony, Volatile Accelerator, Ultimate Cheese Win, because as soon as the match starts, these 2 apply 6 stacks of Purge. The enemy team is in the red. He takes a bonus turn, he being the Grand Inquisitor, and he's all like, I got this, and he throws out his little whirling whoop-de-doo AoE, and everybody falls over dead, and Beq survives. Now, if that isn't the case, hopefully the enemy team doesn't fully heal, and then you've modded your 5th brother to go super duper fast, who throws out his little whirly-doo whoop-de-whoop-de and is like, yo bro, I got this, and kills off everybody. 7th sister doesn't have to be there. It could be anybody. It really doesn't. All that matters is basically these 2, and then Amplify, Agony, Volatile, etc. So the top squad is this is just a kill squad right here. That's what that is. There's also the global feat of Master Qui-Gon surviving. So you got your Jedi Master Kenobi, you got your insta-kill Cat, you got your, Snips doing Snip stuff, and you get your Tenacity Up here, you get your Tenacity Up over here, you get your Kelleran Beq surviving with Beq right there, and, you get you 3 with 1 shot. So, what can you say? Now, the bottom one, if you don't have a GL, hopefully you got Beq. If you don't have Beq, what are you doing, man? Get Beq. You need him for light side for the terrible Naboo raid, but whatever. Beq's a great character no matter how you roll it. He's a great leader. He's wonderful in GAC. He's really good in territory wars. Get Beq. So you run Beq leadership. I'd throw in Jedi Knight Anakin, Barriss, Mace, and GMY. I chose these characters specifically because a lot of early mid gamers are going to have Mace, GMY, and Anakin. Barriss is probably the oddball out for early players, but if you don't have Barriss, she's super easy to gear up. Very easy. Gear her up to a minimum of gear 12 and start slapping her in some of these teams, because she is just such an amazing passive character. Just sits there keeping your team alive by perpetually, I don't remember if it's healing or balancing health or whatever it is that she does. I gotta go reread the kit. I also have a sneaky suspicion she's going to be more important in the future, but whatever. That could be totally wrong. Forget I even said that for now. So anyway, earlier game account, definite mid-late game account, and then wherever you are, all 3 of these are going to do a pretty good job of keeping Beq alive. Also because Beq, I think his Zeta, when he dies, if he's in the leader position, he revives automatically once. So you got a good chance there. If you were to put Jolie in there maybe and take out Barriss if you just really don't want to or don't have her, then Jolie can also further revive and keep this rolling for a while. So good option there. All right, Blight. So here was my team. Here's the 3 I used. Okay, check it, yo. I had a gear 11, 11, 11. Not as good as Kerman's, who was 3, 5, 4 star. No, 3, 4, 4 stars, gear 10, 9, 10, and no Zetas. He's always trying to one-up me, you know? One-up me. I'd take my Zetas off if I could. Sorry, Kerman, can't do that. But yeah, you don't need the Zetas, apparently. I would not have recommended that, but apparently you don't need the Zetas. I have them all applied because I'm now in a position to start chasing Ahsoka, which means I'm going to be relicking these as soon as I can. I really have no idea how I got there. What I do understand, if I recall, is that both of his specials apply Blight somewhere. Night Trooper's second special applies it, and then Captain Enoch's basic applies it. So what I did is I threw in Scout Trooper because he applies Stagger, which you need for the global feat, and then I threw in Stormtrooper, who I just absolutely love with this team. Something about the vitality that Enoch gives makes these characters hard to beat. And Stormtrooper in particular just does not fall over, which is the same apparently as what Kerman put. Good job, Kerman. How many times have I said your name, Kerman? Kerman, Kerman, Kerman. I bet you're watching. Kerman, are you counting? Hope you're taking shots every time I say your name, Kerman. If so, you're probably getting wasted, bro. Don't do that. So yeah, I ran Amplify Agony, one of them, Weak Spot, which is the best, absolute best data disc in this event. No joke. Bar none, it's numero uno. I think that if you can stack 1 or 2 of those, stack 1. If you can get 1 or stack 2, it's insane. You end up with like low gear healers eventually hitting for 500,000 to 1 million damage. It's broken. I have 2 of the protection shields, like I said. At this point, I think I had a green and a blue, so 25% shield recovery. And then I had Decay, the green one, I think, minus 6.5% turn meter whenever I hit an enemy. And then I had 1 Ruthless Offense. It was the white one, so 10% stacking offense per kill, which was certainly not needed. Yeah, so those are my data discs. I went in, I cheesed my way through it, didn't expect it, got the win. Now, if you don't have Stormtrooper, I think this might be a little bit more challenging, and you don't need, of course, you don't need Scout Trooper. Alternatively, I am certain you could do this with TIE Fighter Pilot, who did get the tag if you missed that, and Death Trooper if you had him. What you do not want to do is add a leader or a droid. Enoch don't like that. He don't play well with other leaders and droids, so don't do that. Night Sister kills, I think that Asajj is probably your best way if you are looking for quick kills. You do not want Volatile Accelerator, Amplify Agony under Talzin lead. And with Marin, you'll be spamming so much Plague. The Plague plus those data discs are going to kill the enemies really quickly, and then you don't get credit for it. Plague kills do not count. So I put Asajj in there because her leadership gives some additional offense. I put Spirit for the offense, Zombie for the tank, and then I put, that's not Acolyte. Is that Acolyte? Acolyte for the kill shots because she hits really, really hard. Alternatively, I do like this one. I actually like, but have not tested, Ninth Sister Lead. She is really hard to take down, especially once again under Barriss with tank tech going over to her, so she heals up. Grandmaster Yoda healing up, applying Master's Training. And then for the kills, we've got Asajj. And I like Asajj here because, well, Asajj hits pretty hard, especially when taken out of the team. She's got the AoE, so even if you're stuck behind someone like taunting, but there's somebody at low life, you can just go whack AoE and still take them down. Why Ninth Sister? Malik is probably a better choice, but why Ninth Sister? Ninth Sister has the AoE days, and I found that I was getting the most Ninth Sister kills battling against Night Sisters who assist a lot. So if I could daze the entire enemy team, that's not a D, that's a B. There it is, daze. If I could daze the enemy team, stop them from assisting and doing assisting stuff, then I was able to get, Master's Training in there, get that weak spot, you start ramping up damage, and before you know it, she's just like one shot, whack, kill. The Night Sister opponent is good because they can revive, just don't kill old Daka, don't kill them too quickly, take a few down, let Daka revive a few, and repeat. And likewise, you can also do that again against like a Mon Mothma squad, if you run into a Geo squad or Imperial troopers that have that like unyielding ranks or whatever it is, so you can get at least 7 or 8 kills out in that battle. So yeah, folks, there you go. This is my Sector 4 team recommendations and review. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Please, please, please push that sub button. Help me grow my channel a little bit. Help me help you. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Got any thoughts, comments, questions? Tell me what I messed up in the comments. Be nice about it. I would love to know and have a chat with you. And I will catch you next time on the tables. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye-bye.